I realize officers find themselves in precarious situations, maybe sometimes seemingly out of control situations. And there's no doubt that, you make a decision and you have to go with it and you have to be able to make a decision. And I have to admit, I'm sad this guy died, but I'm surprised that they had all aimed at his chest. I'm surprised they didn't all aim at his... Never mind.
Man has died while in police custody. Now an investigation is underway into what exactly happened. KCAL News reporter Michelle Geely is live in Fullerton with what investigators are saying about this in-custody death. Michelle.
Amy, that's right. This is the key question. How exactly did this man die? I'm going to step aside as they clean up the scene here. Fullerton police telling us that less lethal methods were used to get him into custody. We know that McDonald's made a call for help very early this morning, just after 3 a.m., about 2 men possibly on drugs, and that's what brought the officers here. Fullerton police say the man who died after officers used less lethal force outside of a McDonald's early this morning is a 50-year-old from Buena Park. He and a second man were possibly under the influence, according to officers. They were called by the manager, who was concerned about employees' safety.
Officers contacted one of the male subjects who had no shirt on at the time. He did not comply with our commands and was swinging a belt around. At that time, more officers were asked to respond to the scene. The first thing we did was utilize the taser in an attempt to subdue the subject, which ultimately was ineffective.
Next, according to Fullerton police, was the use of less lethal beanbag rounds that were fired at the man, which allowed them to take him into custody. Officials say the suspect sustained a, quote, significant injury to the chest area as a result of the use of the beanbag projectile.
The goal is to gain compliance through verbal commands, and obviously as situations escalate or change, they're dynamic. And so we have the option to use less lethal kinetic energy projectiles and tasers and other options.
So the coroner will ultimately decide whether this beanbag round contributed or caused the death of this man, or perhaps whether drug intoxication played a part as well. That's the latest live in Fullerton. I'm Michelle Geely. Amy, back to you.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Okay. Well, that less than lethal barrage turned out to be less than lethal. This next cop, well, he didn't even go with the taser. He backed it on up and he just used the bear spray or the pepper spray or whatever it is. But it was on an autistic kid. Here's the story.
We need to protect our special needs kids without any excessive force.
A student with autism pepper sprayed and handcuffed by an Albuquerque public school police officer. It's a story we first told you about last night, and tonight that officer is on leave.
Target 7's John Cardinelli joins us now with those details. John.
Shelley and Doug, this incident is something our Target 7 team was already looking into. It happened back on February 16th. The officer wasn't put on leave until we started filing public records requests. Everyone has their favorite TV show.
Here we are at the Ellen studio in Hollywood.
And during that trip to Hollywood,
and he got to stand in Ellen's monologue spot.
It was a big deal for Philip Paulo's son.
And Jack's a huge Ellen fan. He's 14. He's a freshman. He's autistic.
And when he's not watching reruns of Ellen, he's doing well in school.
He has a high GPA. He was actually awarded an honor roll the day before the incident.
When did you first learn about what had happened?
We received a call from the assistant principal stating that our son has been pepper sprayed by APS.
According to this disciplinary action form obtained by Target 7, on February 16th at Rio Grande High School, Jack was yelling profanities on campus after his PE teacher instructed him to leave class. A teacher then called APS police.
Calm down, calm down. Hey, ever give him room?
The officer who filled out the form goes on to say that Jack claimed he wanted to kill and lunged at him. It was at that point he pepper sprayed Jack. Target 7 obtained body camera video from the officer involved in the incident, and it's unclear if either of those things happened.
Dude. It's okay. Stay back. Get him. Let's go. I need to cuff him. Cuff him. Cuff him. I pepper sprayed him. Cuff him.
After Jack was pepper sprayed, the school was placed on lockdown.
Shelter in place to school.
BCSO showed up to the school and questioned the officer.
He came to attack me. At that point, when he came at me, that's when I pepper sprayed him.
As far as we could gather, Jackson never touched him or placed hands on anybody of the staff or the officer.
Target 7 has now learned from this email sent to parents at Rio Grande High School that the officer has been placed on leave Tuesday pending the outcome of an investigation. That's 11 days after the incident. Jack received a 3-day suspension more than a week after the incident and after his parents had filed complaints with the school district and the sheriff's office.
He's struggling. He's processing every day.
Jack's parents are processing as well.
Do you believe the school system failed your son?
Yes, I believe the school system definitely failed my son.
Paulo says that failure stems from Jack's individualized education program not being followed. Also known as an IEP, it outlines what the needs of a student are.
And according to his IEP, he's supposed to have a one-on-one aid, and he's supposed to be in a reduced class size. And being in PE, there's a large class size, and the one-on-one aid was not there that day to assist him in class.
Target 7 reached out to APS for an interview to ask about the situation and whether Jack's IEP wasn't followed. They declined to do one. However, the state's public education department told us that students should be getting the services outlined in their IEP.
Do you think if the IEP was followed, Jackson would have been in that situation?
Jackson would definitely not be in the situation. His one-on-one aid would have been there to de-escalate any social behaviors that Jack was expressing during that period.
Paulo says he is seeking legal action and he's filed a police report with the sheriff's office to investigate the officer for assault charges. For Target 7, I'm John Cardinelli.
In an email, Superintendent Scott Elder personally apologized for, quote, the trauma the situation caused. For the complete email Elder sent to parents and students, head to KOAT.com.
Oh, Lordy. What's happened to me? Am I on the side of this cop? No, I don't know. Who knows? All I know for sure is that Dad, I think he should be punished for letting his kid watch Ellen. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does it seem like maybe somebody's after this sheriff? Somebody's going after him, aren't they?
The second and final external investigation into Chippewa County Sheriff Travis Hakes is complete. Investigators say they found, quote, substantial evidence of dishonesty. The 31-page report details 56 statements Hakes has made since last September. It provides evidence that all 56 statements and more were dishonest. They include topics like his real estate business, past employment, work hours, and absenteeism, courthouse security, and the investigative report itself. Hakes told our Eau Claire affiliate he believes the investigation was a waste of resources.
I got elected by the people of Chippewa County to work for the people of Chippewa County, and if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, I welcome them with open ears. My door's always open, my phone's always on. I work for the people, and I'll continue to do so.
He says the lessons he's learned from this experience will help him lead the sheriff's office more effectively.
Well, that's about as close to licking a boot as I'm going to get. But I'll tell you what, I'm not a horrible judge of character, but he don't seem like an awful terrible guy. I know he's wearing a badge and all, but let me know what you think in the comments, folks. You know, I wouldn't wrap the Bad Apple Report without an actual, unequivocal bad apple. And this guy is definitely, this cop is a super bad apple. Okay, so we have a link to the body cam footage of him doing what he did to this woman's jaw. But here's really the story. Okay, so Bountiful, Utah, a woman in her 60s is suing the Utah Police Department, alleging that an officer punched her in the face without cause. Former Police Chief Chris Burbank views the incident as a symptomatic of a broader issue in the state. Oh, yes, it is. Body camera footage captures the pivotal moment of the altercation. An officer is seen struggling with a woman in Bountiful, instructing her to place her hands behind her back. Oh, this story is so funny. You guys watch the body cam footage. This guy came out the gate ready to go. He provoked this whole thing. This is a news groomer piece right here. Okay, so at one point the video shows the officer's arm cocking back before, okay, like this news groomer piece. That's funny. How did it get to this point? News 2 asks. The officer initially responded to reports of a possible disturbance between a woman and a man. Upon arrival, the officer learned that the individuals were divorced, both telling them no conflict. Hey, their conversation was done. Okay, as the ex-husband walks back inside, the officer speaks with Greta. And there was almost immediate friction between the two. Oh, yes, there was. Watch the body cam video, folks. It's taken me like 4 days to get it through. It's a great video. All the way through is wonderful. Anyway, so as the woman talks back or disagrees to many of the comments and orders of the officer, think about that. Oh, she talked back and disagreed to his orders. When you see the footage, it will just blow your mind, you guys. What a jerk. This cop is a tyrant. And he's got, now there's $1 million lawsuit on that city because of this knucklehead. And of course, he's probably still on the force. So the officer is now instigating or causing the problem, said Burbank. And so he's not solving the issue. He's making the situation worse. And that's an understatement, folks. At one point in the video, the woman becomes frustrated with the conversation and starts walking away. As she does, the officer yells that she's under arrest and grabs her. You guys, there's way more to it than this. Greta said she didn't believe she was detained and thought she had every right to leave if she didn't want to talk to the officer anymore. No crime, no evidence of a crime. I wasn't accused of a crime, so I should be free to go, said Greta. But as the officer demands that she put her hands behind her back, she's arrested. She does not comply. Oh, Lordy, this news groomer. I was just scared. I was scared. I feared for my safety, said Greta. How about this? This tyrant cop assaulted her. He grabbed onto her. He had no cause to do so. And it was an egregious use of force, is what it was. And if you'll watch the whole video, you'll just see. Just at least watch the first few minutes of him talking, and you'll be like, dude, what a freaking tyrant. This moment, she was resisting what he was saying. Absolutely. Oh, Lordy. You guys, I don't even think I could, this is such a news groomer piece. It's making me sick. Damn news groomers. All right. Please watch the whole video, okay, folks? It's very enlightening. And that's your Bad Apple report for the day. And this guy is the super bad apple. That's right, folks. This week, we're featuring something with a little bit of spice, a little bit of flavor, and a lot of caliente action. And that is Raggle Monkey's channel. We're going down to Miami, folks. That's right. We're going to go down there to Miami. We're going to feature Raggle Monkey's channel. Everybody go subscribe. You're already a subscriber. I know you are. I mean, who am I? I'm just a little knucklehead. This guy is so great. I love watching his channel. I love when he goes in and holds the government officials accountable. They see him coming. They're like, oh, lock the door. And then if the surreal cam is with him, oh, man. Don't mess around with the surreal cam. Oh, man. We love you, brother. We miss your brother. Seriously, folks, the Miami crew, they're doing it right. We love them. Go subscribe to the channels. Raggle Monkeys, who we're talking about here today, the Surreal Cam too. We're going to do something on him. We love these guys.